Good Wednesday evening, South Carolina Weather Watchers. I'm your meteorologist, Chester Peterson, and let's go in and talk about the weather for your Wednesday evening going into your future. We have some stuff that we are going to go on and talk about tonight, obviously, weather. And for the most part, most of the stuff that we've been talking about for the past couple of days is going to continue, except for one key difference, and that is it is time for our April 2026 forecast. Now, you know how this goes. Usually, we go in and talk about our current conditions, whether for tonight, tomorrow, and the short term future first before we go on and talk about the long term and the full part of April. So that's how we're going to go again tonight. Nothing's changing. But before we get into all that, let's go on and do the usual. First off, it is Wednesday evening, meaning that we are halfway through the work week. Halfway through the work week, we just have Thursday and Friday left to go, and we will be at the weekend. Also, if you have not hit the like button yet, go on and do so. We've had around 4 people tune in so far and only 2 likes. Make sure that you go on and also hit the subscribe button. We are at, right now, 726, trying to get to that main goal of 800. Also, hit the share button. Share with your friends, your family members, your acquaintances, and people that you don't even talk to because it's free, and not only you, but also them can both change their mind. So let's go on real quick and look at what is on tap. Well, so starting off, warm to unseasonably warm temperatures continue as we go all the way throughout into tomorrow and even into the next day until around Sunday. Mostly dry conditions prevail through tomorrow. Also, increasing chances for scattered showers and thunderstorms that develops Friday and Saturday, and a cold front approaches late Sunday or Sunday night. So, again, most of the stuff right here is the exact same. We're going to continue to talk about this stuff, and as we go and look at the live radar right now for what's currently going on, well, right now, rainfall is kind of just staying up in the Midlands, upside in the upstate as well. Now, everybody else, low country, Grand Strand, PD areas looks relatively dry, so that looks good. And then the very far, in like northern upstate Greenville through Spartanburg through Rock Hill, looks dry as well. But if we see what's going on throughout the entire U.S., I can promise you it is definitely nothing but quiet. As we look and see, we have rainfall going on throughout Alabama, Georgia, rainfall going on over here in New York, going on inside of the New England areas, Pennsylvania, also Maryland, Delaware, Ohio getting in on some rainfall going on in Nebraska, Iowa, Minnesota. Snowfall also going on over here inside of North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, even up inside of Wisconsin. And then maybe even some rainfall going on over here in the west. I mean, we have rainfall going all the way from the Pacific Northwest down into Northern California, Nevada, Idaho, Montana. I mean, it just looks relatively very unsettled over there. And then we have some severe weather going on. Severe weather going on all the way from Texas over inside of Oklahoma, as well as over inside of Kansas and Missouri. There also is some, even a little severe thunderstorm watch and a tornado watch going on for a lot of these areas right now, about to move and continue their way east. Now, what's going on in terms of cloud cover? Well, for right now, we do have some cloud cover in the upstate, Midlands for sure. PD areas also have some cloud cover right now. Low country and the Grand Strand areas are pretty clear right now, so we're not seeing anything too active in terms of cloud cover in those areas. And if we look at that cloud cover for the future, as we go on and push this forward all the way through 9, 10, 11, 12 o'clock in the morning, you can definitely see the potential for maybe even some fog to try and develop as we go into tomorrow morning. So definitely watch for fog tomorrow morning, low country areas, maybe a little bit inland as well, just a bit inland of the low country area. So make sure that you're watching out for fog activity tomorrow morning. And then as you continue your way through, here's 9 a.m., that fog's starting to clear off just a little bit, just becoming mainly a sea fog threat. If we look even further into the future, though, which let's go on and get that right here. Here we are at noon. We continue all the way through 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Look at that cloud cover up there inside of the upstate and the Midland areas as well. That's going to kind of fizzle out. And then we become really clear by the time we get into tomorrow night. This goes all the way into Friday morning, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning. Cloud cover really starting to get going as we get even into Friday afternoon as well. Now, in terms of our current temperatures, we have around 66 in Somerville as well as 65 in Charleston, 66 Beaufort, and 65 in Hilton Head Island, 65 Georgetown, and 65 in Murrells Inlet, 64 also inside of Myrtle Beach. We also do have around a good 65 also inside of Conway, 72 in Orangeburg, and 72 in Sumter, 70 Columbia, 69 in Aiken, and even around a good 69 inside of Newbury, 70 Greenwood in Lawrence, as well as Anderson, 71 Clemson, 70 in Greenville, Spartanburg, 70 inside of Gaffney, 69 York and Rock Hill. Now, for the air quality, for the most part, we're inside of the good category, but if you're over there in the western low country, you're in the moderate for some air quality tonight. And in terms of the index right now, you're in that 51 to 100 category, meaning that you pretty much have a pretty not so great atmosphere, but it's not the worst. Definitely is not the unhealthy for sensitive groups yet. So you should still try to monitor it, but definitely it shouldn't really completely ruin any sort of outdoor plans that you have tonight. Now for your low temperatures, you have around 61 in Greenville, Spartanburg, as well as 61 in Rock Hill, Anderson, 60 in Newbury, as well as 61 in Columbia, 60 in Winsboro, as well as Sumter, Orangeburg, 58 in Moncks Corner, and 59 in Barnwell, 61 in Charleston, and 63 Hilton Head Island, 60 Myrtle Beach, and 59 in Georgetown, 57 in Kingstree, and 59 in Dillon. Now for your high temperatures for tomorrow, you have around 81 in Greenville, 82 Spartanburg, as well as Rock Hill, 82 Newbury, and 81 in Winsboro, 84 Columbia, and even 83 in Camden, 83 Sumter, and 82 in Kingstree, 83 in Orangeburg, and 81 in Walterboro, 77 in Charleston, and 77 in Georgetown, 73 Myrtle Beach, and 77 in Hilton Head Island. Now for your rainfall. Rainfall for the most part is not going to be that bad. I mean, you see around a good 1/100 of an inch to a 1/10 of an inch, maybe even a 1/10 of an inch all the way up to a 1/2 an inch as we continue going throughout the next 24 hours or so. And so this goes all the way just scattered up in the upstate, which is what I was kind of touching on last night about how I was saying that this kind of reminds me of a summer-like pattern to where we have spotty showers, spotty storms here and there, and the models are going to say, oh, it's going to be over here, but then the next model run is going to say, oh, well, it may be a bit over to the east instead, or a bit over to the south instead. This is what this kind of reminds me of because it kind of shows more of a pop-up shower and storm threat that we usually see during the summertime. So this is what we're looking at. And then it's going to be all over the place again. So this is just a rough estimate of the totals as we continue throughout the next 24 hours. Now for the crazy score. If you have no idea what the crazy score is, it is a score that we see how active the weather is as we go throughout the next 24 or so hours, mainly tonight. But, I mean, it could also kind of be used for the next 24 hours. And for the most part, we're at a 6 for tonight. Why? Well, number one, it's going to be calm. That pretty much explained the majority of it. I mean, it's just going to be calm. That's why we're in the calm category. We're going to see mostly clear to partly cloudy skies. Skies remain mostly clear, especially across parts of the low country that we just saw. Fog tonight, though, is possible, so that may cause, a bit of issues, but for the most part, it's more patchy than anything. Winds are also going to be pretty calm as well, and for the most part, I don't see anything else too interesting for us to really look at. Now, if we go on and look at our SPC outlook for tonight, there still is a little bit of a thunderstorm risk. I mean, even though you can see here, it does say some rainfall up there inside of like parts of the Midland areas, parts of the upstate. Remember, I get this forecast for the crazy score for parts of the National Weather Service, and so if the National Weather Service doesn't note anything about rainfall in the upstate, doesn't note anything about rainfall in the Midlands, then it's not going to count it. So for right now, though, there is rainfall. Is there thunderstorms going on right now? Well, right now it does look like that there is not. Now, that's what the actual radar says right now. It could be different. Obviously, radars can't catch every single little bit of lightning here or there, but if you're on the ground and you do see it, definitely put inside the chat right now if you do see some. Now, if we go into tomorrow, again, no thunderstorm activity is expected. Going into Friday, there is a little bit of a thunderstorm risk up there in the very far upstate, but for the most part, we're staying still kind of just near that normal threshold. Nothing severe or anything like that, and it just looks like just regular thunderstorms here and there. For fire weather, nothing here. Excessive rainfall, we're good here as well. So let's go on and get to the more active part of the forecast and the more thing in the more kind of like more important part to where we talk about the models, we talk about the future, and of course we talk about the month of April. So we're going to start off right here. The time is at the bottom. Yes, the bottom part of your screen. Make sure that you are paying attention to that because that is very important and you may get lost if you are not paying attention to that. Let's go to the 18Z real quick. And we're going to start off here at 8 p.m. You go in and push this forward, and what do you see? Dry conditions for the rest of tonight. Even though we do see some rainfall activity now, it's going to dry out for sure as we go into tonight. And we're going to be mostly dry going into tomorrow morning, going into tomorrow afternoon. You could see some light showers, light drizzles here and there throughout parts of the upstate, maybe a little bit in the PD areas as well as you go into late morning tomorrow. But if we continue your way throughout all the way into 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., it does seem to try to calm down a little bit. And then by the time you get into 12 o'clock in the morning on Friday, definitely you're seeing nice calm conditions as we go into Thursday night, going into Friday morning. Then we get into around Friday, 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, starting to see isolated showers here and there or so. And definitely maybe trying to see a bit more of an uptick as you go into Friday at 2 p.m. So things definitely are going to be changing. Things are definitely going to be becoming more active as we get more and more into the weekend. And obviously we will be covering all of that. Now, if we go into the long-term future, we're going to start off here at the 48-hour mark. And as we just go in and push this forward, you definitely can see rainfall going on. You see it up there inside of the upstate. You see it going on inside of the Midlands, inside the Low Country. That goes on all throughout Friday. And we were just talking about that throughout the short-term models, talking about how there is the chance for shower activity to get more active as we go into Friday. But then as you move into Saturday, going even into Sunday, look how much more rainfall we're getting than we're getting, obviously, like if we go into the past couple of days, going into today, going into tomorrow. You're not seeing as much rainfall throughout this part of the week than what you may see at the end of the week. And that's what I've been saying all week, and that's what I've been harping about all week, is that this rainfall that we're going to get this weekend is probably going to be the most amount of rainfall that we've seen throughout the entire week. And so if we go on and continue this through, Sunday comes along. I mean, it still does look like beneficial rainfall. Will it even be a lot, though? We're going to have to just wait and see what happens. But for right now, it's looking like some very good beneficial rainfall is on the way this weekend. I know a lot of people are wishing and hoping for that rainfall this weekend to go and hit them. I know a lot of people who probably want the rainfall today, right now, as we currently speak. But we're just going to have to continue to wait on it at this point because obviously we can't just say, oh, we want rain to fall there. We just got to continue to wait. But there is definitely a good chance this weekend, though. You continue all the way throughout Sunday, going into maybe Monday as well. And you do see a bit more of an uptick in rainfall, maybe as you get near the coastal areas, going into early parts of next week. But it doesn't really last too long, and as we go throughout Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of next week, a high pressure takes over, and we stay dry, not only throughout this weekend, but the weekend after. Not only do we stay dry through there, but potentially throughout the early week of like April the 13th, 14th, 15th, going into that week. So overall, it looks like that as we get throughout this weekend right here going into early next week, things will try to calm back down and we may start to receive more calmer conditions like we've been seeing throughout the majority of this week. Things will change. Obviously, we're, 200 hours out into the future. But if we're talking about from an April perspective, it's definitely not looking as active in terms of precipitation. And then if we go on and look at the actual temperature anomalies as well, because temperature anomalies are pretty important to see what's going on in terms of patterns, what's going on in terms of cold fronts, what's going on in terms of just the temperatures in general. But if we continue throughout this week, Thursday comes along, Friday comes along, Saturday comes along, warmer than average. Then we go into Sunday. Sunday comes along and we definitely are seeing below average temperatures starting to take fold. We get into Sunday, we get into Monday, we get into Tuesday, even on Wednesday of next week. We are still staying cold. I said this last night and I'm going to say it again. If, we go throughout the past couple of cold fronts that we've had, the temperatures usually stay cold for about 2 to 3 days or so, but then we get back to being warm. These temperatures right here, they're trying to stay cool for the entire week almost. I mean, we're Thursday, we're still below average. Finally, Friday, we see a little bit of relief, but then as we get into Saturday comes along, and now we're just near normal. We go into Sunday, we go into Monday and Tuesday. These days definitely get a lot warmer, but not until after this amount of cold air moves in. So if you are a cool weather fan, next week is definitely going to be your great week for you. Going to be a great week for you. But if you are a warm weather fan, next week may not be your best week at all. And if we go on and look at those temperatures just in general, we go all the way throughout Thursday, going into Friday, obviously, temperatures maxing out into the 80s, Saturday 80s, Sunday, even some of us in like the low country areas, Grand Strand areas, 80s on Sunday. But then we go into Monday, high temperatures getting into the 60s, maybe some 70s. Tuesday, only 60s. Wednesday, 60s. I mean, we're having even low temperatures and down all the way down to the 30s. And so we weren't really looking too much in terms of freezing temperatures, but what do you see right there? That's 32 degrees. Now, it's really far up in the upstate, not really in like the low country areas or like the Grand Strand areas, but there still is some freezing temperatures up there in the very far portion. Now, that's 180 hours out, so that will definitely shift around. That will definitely change. It may get stronger. It may get weaker. That's the whole confusing part about this, and the whole fun part about forecasting is that things are going to change constantly. Now, if we go on and look at the ensembles as well, see what they have to say in terms of our temperatures for the future, they do right now look like that we're going to try and warm up a little bit as we go into next weekend, not this weekend, next weekend, like Saturday the 11th or so. And that's kind of expected. That's what the deterministic model said. As we looked at it earlier, it said that it was going to try and warm up a little bit as you get into the end of next week. And it does seem to want to try and stay. I mean, I even see some isolated 80s from the ensemble. So that's some pretty good news if you're a warm weather fan for not next week, but the week after. So that is what we are looking at right now in terms of the ensembles and just in terms of our temperatures in the long-term future. So let's go on and talk about our April 2026 forecast. It's not going to be long. Again, I don't do the whole, let's go in and just break down each day, day by day. I just look at the averages. Doesn't take long at all. I'm not, that type of person who stays on this for long. But we're going to go in and look at the averages with it. And for right now, for April 2026, we're seeming like it's going to be an above average temperature month. So yes, we will have above average temperatures this month as we go into this part of April. Now, what does that mean? That does not mean that the entire month is just going to be full of above average temperatures. It just means that we are going to have more above average chances as we go into this week. So, that technically just means, again, that it's going to be more above average and it will be cooler than average. And I know a lot of people are going to be excited about that, but that does not mean that cold air is done. Does not mean that at all. Make sure that you are aware of that. Does not mean that cold air is done. We still have to go through cold blasts. We still have to go through cold fronts, stuff like that. But for right now, it's looking like that it's going to be above average in terms of temperatures. Now, in terms of precipitation, this is not what we want to see. Below average precipitation. Below average precipitation as we go into this month, meaning that we will see less rainfall on average for this month. So, not great for the drought at all. Obviously, we have the drought monitor coming out tomorrow night, so make sure that you're there for that if you want to participate in playing. If you can guess what the drought monitor looks like, we'll talk about that again tomorrow night. But for right now, we do not want to see above average temperature and below average precipitation. You want to see, if you want to see above average temperatures, you can still bank on above average precipitation, but for right now, making it with above average temperatures and above average and below average precipitation, that's like a worst case scenario for the drought. So that's what we're looking at right now. I do think that, again, that may make our drought expand even more. We may see more areas getting inside of a drought. We possibly will see more areas getting in more extreme, more severe, more moderate, and maybe somebody may try to reach exceptional. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But for right now, definitely looking like not a great sign at all. But again, that's it for the April forecast. Again, below average in terms of precipitation, above average in terms of temperatures. And we already kind of talked about the first half of it, so let's go on and talk with the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us here at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see what the audience has to say for tonight. Starting off with my Aunt Lula, she's here first. She says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. I pray that everyone had a wonderful day. Well, thank you so much for that. Mr. Chris also says, good evening, everyone. Hope y'all had a great day. Well, I did. Thank you so much for that. He also says got to around 83 degrees here in Moncks Corner, and currently right now it's 69. Well, at my house right now it is currently around a good 67, and then you have our high temperatures reaching around 83. Now, if we push our way down even more, Milo Lewis says today in Georgetown we started this morning cloudy, but did not last long at all. Honestly, for the most part, I think it was sunny for the majority of the day for where I was as well. This morning may have been a little bit cloudy, but it wasn't really too much clouds at all. Mount Lou also says today's high was 80 degrees. Currently, they're at 68. Mr. Chris also says started off clear, but got cloudy as the day went on. So y'all two seem to have almost the same conditions opposite conditions. I take that back because Mr. Chris said it started off clear, but got cloudy. And then my Aunt Lewis said it got cloudy, and then it went to become clear. So a bit of a difference there. Mr. Chris also says, please remember to go and hit the like button and the subscribe button if you have not already. Also, share with everyone that you know. It's free, and it helps the channel grow, absolutely. Right now, we have around a good 10 people that have tuned in tonight, and we only have 4 likes. So if you're a part of that group that have not hit the like button yet, go on and do so. It's free, and you can change your mind at any time. Now, if we go on and continue our way down, let's see. Milo says, once the clouds clear, we had a beautiful warm day today. And then Miss Chris has started getting a little breezy this afternoon. Then Milo says, I'm putting some of this warmth in my pocket so I can use it when it gets cold again. Well, at this point, save some for the rest of us at this point, because it's going to continue to get cold as we get into next week. Trail says, greetings everyone, greetings to you. And then Milo says, we can sure use some rain, absolutely. Nice for the crazy score, wow, cool down, or should I say a cold down? Yeah, I mean, at this point, if you're getting all the way down into the 30s, you could say cold down at that point. Grammatically cool, but you can definitely say cold down if you're getting all the way down to freezing temperatures. And then Miss Chris says, what's happening with the April showers? Well, I mean, I guess they're just not trying to show up. I mean, they're showing up, but will it be enough, though? That's the good question. Will it be enough? They are showing up, though. I mean, you see right now on the radar, they definitely are showing up. Let me see real quick. Here we are. I mean, yeah, they definitely are showing up. But for the most part, is it going to be enough? That's the question, though. So let's go in and talk about the 4 locations outside of South Carolina. You might be asking, 4 locations, what am I talking about? I'm talking about San Antonio, Texas, Raleigh, North Carolina, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, as well as Duncan, Oklahoma. The reason why we talk about these 4 areas is because we have people from these areas who tune in almost nightly, and because they tune in almost nightly, we go in and give them their forecast for them. So starting off with San Antonio first, you have low temperatures tonight at 70, high temperatures for tomorrow at 84, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 70 as well. Breezy tonight. It will be breezy tonight. No precipitation is expected tonight or tomorrow night, but tomorrow during the day, there is a slight chance of thunderstorms there. Now, if we go on and look at your severe weather, your excessive rainfall, you have nothing there, so you are good in terms of severe weather and in terms of excessive rainfall for now. Things can always change, but for right now, you're good. Now, in terms of your future, does seem to be that you will kind of be active. I mean, as you go into this weekend, you're talking about Saturday 80%, Sunday 30%, Monday, you're going to kind of rise up a little bit more, but you're staying more in the 80s as you like in terms of temperatures and precipitation chances as you get throughout into Saturday. Now, Thursday, again, 20% during the day. Friday night, 30%, and then kind of skyrockets up. And also, you will receive a cool down this weekend. Sunday, high of only 65, but you will be climbing back up next week, Wednesday. You'll be already to 75. Now, for Raleigh, North Carolina, you have low temperatures tonight at 61, high temperatures for tomorrow at 84, and then low temperatures for tomorrow night at 61. Precipitation not expected until around like this weekend on Sunday with a 90% chance of rainfall. And then in terms of your severe weather, excessive rainfall, nothing for you. And then for rainfall just purposes, Sunday is really the only day. Temperatures, you will be continuing to stay in the 80s until you get to around maybe Monday with the high temperature in the high 60s. So your temperatures will continue to kind of drop as you go into next week. Then as we get into Philadelphia, you have low temperatures tonight at around 50, high temperature for tomorrow at 52, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at around 45. Precipitation is definitely expected tonight. Expect precipitation tonight. Tomorrow, you do in fact have a slight chance of showers tomorrow and tomorrow night. And then rainfall-wise, even though I know you see, or temperature-wise, I know you see that those temperatures tomorrow only being up to 52. Friday, you'll be right back up to 80. Saturday, 83. Sunday, 71. But then Monday, you'll drop back down into the 50s again. So it's going to be just bitterly cold tomorrow for no reason at this point. And then you're going to jump right back up to 80. So a huge 28-degree high difference as you go into tomorrow and Friday. Now, for your severe weather, you do have a little isolated risk of some severe weather, really isolated damaging wind gusts and isolated hail of up to an inch in diameter. For the most part, it looks like that it's not really impacting you too much right now. In fact, has the threat really even started yet? Right now, it's looking like you just have a bunch of rainfall near you right now. But I do see some rainfall, some storms down to your south, like in Richmond, Virginia. Over here near Charleston, West Virginia, they have a severe thunderstorm warning over there. And then also over here inside of like Martinsville, Virginia, they have a storm down there as well. But just to where you are, you don't have anything right now. In terms of your, I think we actually pretty much went over everything for your long-term future. Maybe a bit of we talked about the cool down as you go into next week. And then also it's going to continue to be active Saturday, Sunday. Going to continue to be active throughout those next couple of days. And then finally for Duncan, Oklahoma, you have low temperatures tonight at 62, high temperatures for tomorrow at around 86, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 60. Precipitation is expected tonight. In fact, right now you have severe weather that's very close to you. Where are you at? You're over here. Let's see. Duncan is just outside of a severe thunderstorm warning that's on the way to you right now. It's going through Lawton, Oklahoma, going through Walters, going through Temple, Oklahoma right now as you speak. And you're under a tornado watch right now for 3-inch diameter hail and 80-mile-per-hour wind gust as a severe thunderstorm warning of up to 70 miles per hour is moving towards you right now. When will it be there? Probably around like the next 30 minutes to an hour or so. We'll see how it continues over the next 30 minutes to an hour, but for right now, it is on that trajectory right now to impact you in some way, shape, or form, so make sure that you are prepared for that as you continue throughout the next 30 minutes to an hour or so. Now, in terms of your severe weather threat, you still have a chance for a tornado to pop up. It's still possible. Also, wind, hail, all of that is possible as you go into the storm that's about to move towards you. And you're still not done. Friday, April the 3rd, you have a slight risk of severe weather, and that is for, again, scattered severe storms to occur as you go into Friday. Now, what about for your future? It does look like right now that you are going to continue to stay in the 80s until maybe this weekend, dropping down to the 60s and 70s. And even as you go into next week, still just staying in the 70s. Precipitation-wise, going to kind of stay active as you continue throughout Saturday, but then Sunday will come along, and things will definitely try to calm down and dry off. That's all for these 4 areas. That was a lot to talk about, but Let's see what's going on throughout the entire U.S. weather news-wise. Well, a late-season winter storm will produce a combination of heavy snow and disruptive ice starting this evening into the northern plains and moving into the upper Midwest and the Great Lakes by tonight, continuing through Thursday. Severe thunderstorms will likely produce severe wind gusts, large hail, and a few tornadoes. Heavy rainfall is also possible across the southern and the central plains into the morning time tomorrow. So all of that is possible and is expected as you go throughout tonight. We have winter weather going on in the north, even an ice storm potentially going on up there in the north. We have severe weather going on in the south. We have high winds and snow going on in the west. We have pop-up April showers going on over here in the southeast. We have a good amount of rainfall going on up there inside of the northeast as well. And maybe even some snowfall going on up there as well. I mean, it's just overall looking, well, actually, no, just rainfall. But it's a lot of things going on right now. A lot of things going on right now. Nothing's quiet right now. Nothing is quiet right now. So I will continue to go and keep you updated on all that stuff. But if you have not hit the like button yet, go on and do so. We are right now at around, let me check and see. We're at 726 subscribers trying to get to 800. And right now we've had 11 people tune in tonight and we only have 4 likes. So if you're a part of that group that have not hit the like button yet, go on and do so. It's free and you can change your mind at any time. Also, make sure that you go on and hit the share button. Share with your friends, your family members, and your acquaintances because it's free. Not a single dime will be taken out of your bank account if you share, subscribe, or like. All you need is a YouTube account. And that's all. So I will be back tomorrow morning with your Thursday morning forecast update. Make sure you're here tomorrow night for your Thursday evening forecast update for the drought monitor. And that's all. Hit those 2 buttons before you leave if you are new. And then Mr. Chris also says, everyone, please remember to stay safe and hydrated, going to be warm. Absolutely. Make sure you hit those 2 buttons before you leave.